What's up guys, my name's Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about the Festival of the Lost, everything that I know about the Festival of the Lost, what's important, what's worth it, getting that 600 power guaranteed auto rifle, how long it lasts, everything about the Haunted Forest, Eververse, the horror story, everything that I know about this. This is going to be my big review and overview of the Haunted Forest and the fact that I've gotten more time to play with it. Hopefully this video is more informative than the previous videos that came out right when the festival came out. Let me know in the comments down below if there's something big that I missed, and check the pinned comment at the top of the comments. If there's something that I missed, I will leave it there. So let's go ahead and get started. Festival of the Lost is the Halloween event for Destiny 2 that offers exclusive rewards and triumphs for 3 weeks from October 16th to November 6th. The main activity is called the Haunted Forest, which is a wave defense-like activity, which I'll be describing in more detail a little bit later. You start off the Festival of the Lost by going to Amanda Holiday and following the IO quest line and 1 round of Haunted Forest. And after getting enough of those fragmented souls, you'll be able to get a guaranteed 600 power auto rifle regardless of your level, which seems to be the main reason a lot of people are playing the festival. So first off, let's talk about Amanda Holiday. She offers daily and weekly bounties that give you fragmented souls and masterwork cores. Fragmented souls basically being the main currency for the festival. With this currency, you'll be able to buy masks. If you want to buy all of them, that's 260 souls, as well as buy the horror story 600 power auto rifle for 120 souls. The other rewards across the top will be Triumph linked, which I'll mention in a little bit. Next up, let's talk about the horror story. That's the 600 power auto rifle I mentioned earlier, with incredible perks like Rampage, Zen Moment, Flared Magwell, Red Dot, and a reload masterwork. It has very good Rampage continuity with its superior reload, allowing you to be able to continue your Rampage through the reload, which is a big problem on auto rifles as well as the SMGs. But with a 450 auto rifle, Rampage is usually sufficient, whereas Kill Clip is usually preferred. But on this particular loadout, having a superior reload as well as a higher damage per shot makes it a superior weapon to have Rampage. And lastly, Zen Moment, making its stability basically a straight up and down, very negligible, as well as its precision frame, making it very easy to use. In my own personal opinion, I find that that's really good for PvE. It's not technically the best you could possibly have. There could be better. The Tiger Spite, another 450 auto rifle, can have better range. It can have things like Light Mag, which increase the reload speed as well as increase the range. It can have a ranged masterwork as well as have Kill Clip on it as well if you want to use it for PvP as well. So overall, there are better ones for PvE, but it is very close to being the best. As far as PvP goes, I find that it's outclassed by a lot of weapons, including weapons with Kill Clip, increased range, and higher fire rate with better DPS close range. Considering that it is a 450 auto rifle, it's a slower fire rate. Every shot missed can be life or death, and having a faster fire rate at closer range is superior to the slower fire rates. But overall, it's decent, not terrible. Next up, let's talk about the Haunted Forest, which is that wave defense activity with a 15-minute time limit where you basically try to get as many waves done as you can in 15 minutes. This is a 200 power activity with a mask required, and I'll be talking about the mask buffs very shortly. Every round gets harder and more modified with mire fires like Blackout every single one of the rounds. The way you progress is by killing enemies to proceed to the boss. Every enemy, regardless of how difficult they are to kill, gives you 2%, so you might want to start skipping enemies if they're harder to kill. And once you kill the boss, you end the round and go back to the beginning. Fun fact, the timer stops between rounds, so if you want to change your inventory, finish an upgrade on your mask, stop there, don't step on the plate, and your timer has stopped. Some notes about this is that the Triumph is at 7 waves, so if you can get through 7 rounds of this, you'll get a nice Triumph as well as an emblem. The current record is at 16 waves. I believe that there was a team at 16 waves. I know Esoteric did 15 waves. And lastly, you get more fragmented souls the higher the round you complete. Next up, let's talk about the mask. There are 9 to purchase from Amanda. There's 1 Aldrin mask for a Triumph that can again be found at Amanda. And lastly, a Glitter Ball one that comes randomly from a Bright Engram drop. So this is going to be a very RNG based one, but I got mine only an hour ago, so it's really not that crazy. Every single mask has a shared upgrade system. They have 3 options for the Hunting Forest buffs. Each one of those 3 options have 3 upgrades by killing 10 nightmares each, which nightmares are just the bosses at the end of each round. Every single upgrade path allows you to get more heavy ammo drop chance on kills. Other than that, the first one gives you more mid-air resistance as well as an all damage increase. The second one gives you precision kill for health regeneration and challenging enemies damage increase. And the last one gives you grenade and melee energy for precision instant kills, and nightmare damage increase. In my own opinion, I think the last one is the most important one, because melting down that boss as fast as physically possible is probably going to be the thing that most people struggle with. But I think the second one for challenging enemy damage is also pretty important. Once you get in the higher rounds, those guys take a lot of damage. And the last thing about this, again, the upgrades are shared between all the masks, so any progress you make on one mask through that particular path will be able to transfer over to any other mask that you get and put that upgrade in. Next up, let's talk about triumphs. There are 8 triumphs for Festival of the Lost. You can go straight to your triumphs and see all of them. They are very straightforward. Just complete them as you will, and they will give access to certain items in Amanda's store, including the shader, as well as a couple of emblems and the Uldren mask. So just go to the triumphs and it will say which ones they unlocked. It'll say, for example, rewards the Uldren mask. Next up, let's talk about farming strategies. In my own opinion, the best and most honorable way to do this is just farm out daily and weekly. The dailies give you 1 fragmented soul. The weekly gives you 40 fragmented souls, as well as 7 masterwork cores, which is probably going to be the biggest incentive. Now, my recommendation is completing the weeklies on each one of your characters each week. If you complete all 9 weeklies across all characters and across all 3 weeks, that will give you 360 fragments, and you only need 380 for all the masks. And that's not counting the 15 fragmented cores that you're going to get from all the dailies to get each one of those weeklies done. You're honestly going to have way more than you know what to do with if you do all the weeklies across all the weeks. Alternatively, if you want to just do something quick and you want to get that gun as fast as possible, try to go for long, high round haunted forest waves as fast as you can. Now, every 20 minutes or so, you should be able to get around 7 or 8 rounds, and that's about 24 per hour if you really, really want to get them as fast as possible. But honestly, just log on each day on each character, do all the dailies, and you'll get plenty of those cores. You'll never know what to do with them. One of the most effective and easiest way to farm the Haunted Forest is going to be a special class and weapon setup. It's going to be 1 Chaos Reach Warlock, it's going to be 1 Arcstaff Hunter, and 1 Tether Hunter. Tether Hunter obviously supporting everybody else with their Orpheus rigged tethers, giving them tons of orbs. Arcstaff being for just general ad clear, clearing lots of enemies very quickly on the different platforms in the Infinite Forest. And the Chaos Reach Warlock basically being able to do the most incredible amount of damage to the boss. I think you can basically solo every single boss up to wave 5 with just the Chaos Reach. And on that particular Warlock, use the boots that extend the Chaos Reach that makes it so it's like twice as long. Alternatively, you could probably use a Titan with Melting Point, which is really nice for melting bosses as well. So you could replace either the Arcstaff Hunter, or you can replace the Tether Hunter depending on how many orbs you get, or if you care about the orbs entirely. And as well, on top of that, Arcstaff is also really good for hitting bosses. So don't be afraid to smack a boss every once in a while. And finally, for guns, use the best guns in the game that do the best DPS. I've done a lot of top 5 for primaries and heavies in the past. Use Whispers of the Worm, use Sleeper for the heavies. Alternately, you can use the legendary linears. For the primaries, use Chattering Bone or good hand cannons. For the secondaries, use that Kello shotgun. Use the best stuff that you got, because it'll do the most for you. And the last thing I want to mention on this video is going to be Eververse. She offers a lot of Halloween themed items, including ghosts, ships, sparrows, emotes, shaders, transmat effects, ghost projections, and Halloween armor set, not to mention the 1 mask that can be dropped from the Bright Engram. And on top of that, she also sells all these things directly from her store, and it also drops from the ephemeral engrams. And the last thing to note is every time you get a bright engram, every time you level up, you get 2 bright engrams. You get the prototype, and as well as you get the ephemeral engram. So now is the time, if you want to get some of those fancy vanity items, the flare items, you can go in there and get so many of them at the same time during the festival. You're gonna get so much stuff. And that's it. That is gonna be the video for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you for making it to the Fluffers. Hashtag made it to the Fluffers in the comments down below. That was a mouthful. Again, let me know in the comments down below if there's something I missed. I typed out an entire Word document, making sure everything was bullet pointed, everything was organized, so I made sure I said everything in this video. This is definitely a video that has more information than most, and I hope that you guys did appreciate that. And then you did perhaps learn something, even if you did play it a lot. Or if you just like to see the fluffy animals at the end, I hope you did enjoy. But anyways, that's the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name is Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.